Hello and welcome to another episode of Women Empowerment Edition Impact for Change. And the purpose for this podcast is solely to inspire women, discuss different topics that can have an impact and inspire different women to change their life. Now, today's topic that I am going to discuss is a continuous of a topic that I started last week. It's about the FGM, the female genital mutilation. It's how to deal with trauma post FGM. Now, I have mentioned in the last episode that about FGM and what is it and how it can affect, or impact women and girls mentally and physically. Now, today's episode is basically I'm going to talk about how to deal with the trauma that associated with FGM. Women and young girls are likely to get trauma or get traumatized after they had or they undergone the female genital mutilation, and these trauma can last long time or even forever. Some people can cause death, suicide. Now, I remember when I had my FGM, I myself I got traumatized, and the reason is because I always thinking about what happened. I became fear, and I dreamt about it every single day, and I thought about that moment particularly 24/7. And as I discussed last time, from that moment everything has changed for me. Now, according to the World Health Organization, the new studies shows that FGM affects almost all dimension of the health of women and girls. And this study came out this year, in April 2025. So there is the procedure is still going. There is still people are doing FGM. People are still harming their children until today. Women have an almost three times greater risk of depression or anxiety after they have the FGM. They become anxious. 4.4 times higher likelihood of experiencing post-trauma stress disorder. They become stressed. They become fearful. They can't sleep. They lose sleep. That is what the FGM really does to a woman and a girl. Another study shows that girls who undergone the FGM were more likely to isolate themselves and have phobia and hostility toward others. They start to distance themselves from people, isolate, they lose trust, faith in people. I remember after being a child, after I had the FGM, I started isolated slowly from people. without me knowing it. Even when the family gathering, I don't go to a family gathering. If some people came into my home as a guest, I don't sit with them. I constantly, even with my family, I don't sit with my family. I isolated myself, and I know I am not alone. So many women who have undergone or they gone through the FGM, they started isolated from people that close to them, even lose friends. They can stop talking to others. They start feeling lonely, but can't be around people that hate themselves. They hate themselves. They talk more negative about themselves. They can't sleep in the night thinking about what happened. Trauma is stemmed from the FGM, or what we call it in a community cutting, as well as have recount experience to others. For example, when I remember when I went to the doctor, my doctor started, when I start talking to my doctor about it, she started reacting differently. Her reaction puts me off of me speaking about this topic with any other doctors. Now, when a girls, go to a doctor and the doctors react with shock or disgust, when discovering that the woman had undergone the FGM. Now, what this really does to the woman, she will feel afraid, embarrassed, and stressed. For me, I felt embarrassed. I felt embarrassed me even speaking about this topic. As a result and a consequence of the doctor reaction, women may simply no longer, or they're not willing to discuss this with any other doctor. They become reluctant to speak out because they think, if my doctor don't listen to me, nobody will listen to me. If my doctor didn't understand my situation, nobody will. And that's why people start isolating. The girls start isolating themselves. They think nobody can understand them. Nobody can help them. They start feeling lonely. They feel lonely, but yet they have that fear of getting close to other people because they lost trust. They have a huge conflict inside their head. There is a voice telling them, can I get closer? But what if I get closer and I get hurt again? There is always that question, what if? And they start isolating themselves more and more and more. And they get into a deep despair of loneliness. Women who have undergone the FGM may experience isolation, and this they start isolate themselves. They are unable to discuss their FGM or cutting or whatever they've gone through, the feelings they are going through, the emotions, the thoughts with their friends, especially if the friends is within the same community, because that friend may are going the same stress, same experience as her, that she won't be able to understand her situation. I remember I couldn't share my situation with anybody within my community. Not with my teachers at school, not with the doctors, not with my neighbors, not even with my family that I live in. Because I knew, A, they are within the same community. B, they undergone the same procedure. They may go with the same experience. C, they did not have the mental capacity or the mindset that can allow them to understand the person's point of view or what I was going through at the time as a young child. They may not understand it, and in fact, I knew they will not understand it. The other thing that, the women who undergone the FGM may go through or will go through is frustration and confusion. Now, women may not necessarily know how FGM, or what we call it cutting, affects their physical health. They don't know, especially if they had it done at a young age. If they had it done at a young age, they wouldn't understand the difference. They wouldn't understand the effects. They wouldn't understand nothing. Because when I had it done at 7 years, when I was 7 years old, I did not know the implication, the effects that associated with the FGM. I just did not know. That's when the frustration and confusion goes, because after the FGM, women start viewing the body different. They start seeing something missing, something is different, something has changed. And indeed, something has changed, or something will change. They won't feel the same, physically or mentally. Now, having undergone the FGM at young age, women may not know what was normal in the context of their health. Because I didn't knew that what I have gone through, the FGM, that it wasn't normal. It wasn't normal. It's a violation of my rights, of my body, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. I didn't know that wasn't normal, because in a community that I came from, this this thing is normal. You go get it done, that's it. And they not make you, they are expected you to forget it, not even think about it, not even question it. Because if you question it, that means you question your parents' integrity, you question your parents' trust, you don't believe in them, you don't trust them, and you don't respect them. That's the bottom line. They don't know the feelings that associate with the FGM and what women go through in their heads. Anger. That is the other thing that women go through when they undergo the FGM. They may feel angry toward their family members, especially because they trusted them. They see them, some girls, they see the family member as a role model, as a figure, as something that is a huge thing. Because when before the FGM, my family, it was everything to me. My mom, my dad, everything. And then suddenly they violate that trust and betrayed my trust and make me go through hell and come back, just put it that way, and violated my right even saying no. That was a huge hurt for me, huge disappointed for me. And I start feeling anger, resentment, hatred toward my family. I start isolating myself from them. I distance myself from them. I only talk to them when it's necessary. And I know many women and girls, they are going through this, or they went through this. Because it is not easy to trust someone who is close to you and they betray that trust. That is the first time I learned about betrayal. I learned about someone, losing my trust as an individual, as a girl, as a young girl. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to react. So if you are a parent and you let your child go through the FGM, undergo the FGM, and after that they start feeling angry towards you, don't be surprised and don't say it's disrespect, because it's coming from the emotions that is bottled inside, that she might not know how to communicate that emotions. Now, dealing with trauma, because FGM caused a huge trauma to young girls or to women who undergone the procedure. To deal with a trauma as a female, as a person who undergone the FGM, it's not easy. And I'm telling you right now, it's not easy, because there will be a huge conflict between you and yourself, you and your family, or you and the society or the community that you live in. But when I'm talking here how to deal with the trauma, is I'm focusing on you, because if you healed, everything else will fall into place, everything else will be okay. The first thing is you heal, because I understood, it took me, like I said to you, from 7 years old until I was 28, 29, around like I was 28, 27, 28. That's when I started the journey of a healing. So it's only 2 years ago. I think I started in 2022. So, and at that time I think I was 26, 25. Imagine, from 7 to 25 years old, the trauma that all associated with me, the emotions. And I'm sure if you are undergone this procedure, and if you are, you went through this, you will know the length and how long it takes for you to heal and to, forgive yourself. The first thing that you need to do in a journey, or how to deal with trauma, even as a young girl, is be patient with yourself. I know sometimes you may be angry toward yourself as well. You feel frustrated toward yourself. You dislike yourself. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient with yourself. Because what you are going through is not easy. It's not easy. It's not something that is you can get through it so quickly. Because it's not, I am not gonna joke with you, it's not going to be easy. But have that patience with yourself. Have that patience. Understand that what you are going through is like emotions and feelings is valid. It's absolutely valid. And you have all the right to feel it. Feel your emotions. Don't let anybody of you stop you, because that is the only way you will start dealing with it, and you'll start coping with it, and you'll start the journey of healing. Give yourself to feel your emotions. Give yourself the space and time to heal, because as I say, it will take time. It's not a month, and it's not a weeks, it's not days. It may take months and months for you to heal, maybe years. For me, it took 3 years. 3 years. 25, 26, 27, actually 28. So 4 years for me to heal. That is the length that it can take you. And don't be scared of the length, because every individual, every woman are different. You are different. The time for you that it takes for you to heal may be different to other women. You might take you maybe 6 months, might take you a year, might take you maybe 2 years, and the other might take them 3 years, 4 years. That it depends on you and how quickly you want to heal from it. It depends on individual. For me, it was a lot of things that is compiled, because of from 7 I said to 25. It's a lot of emotions, a lot of things that I needed to heal. The trauma, it was big for me. So take your time, don't rush it. Take absolutely your time to feel your emotions, to heal, to just be patient, understand yourself, understand your emotions. Find someone, okay, that you can trust and share your feelings, your thoughts with them. Sometimes speaking out can really help you, because when you speak things out, the feelings that has been piled up, the emotions, it will start to come out. You will start feeling at ease, and you start feeling that breathe, that comfort. I remember the first time I started talking about it was in high school. And at that time, I didn't even understand what is it. Like, I didn't speak about it. Somebody else came and spoke to me about. That's when I understood it wasn't normal. It's not normal. So, find that person that you can trust. I know it's hard for you to trust people again, but give it a go. Find someone that within your circle, a friend that is close to you, and just share that emotion, the feeling, the thoughts. Start loving yourself. Start loving yourself. Every day, tell yourself how much you love yourself. Be around positive people, because what also make it for me to heal is when I surrounded myself with the positive people, because those positive people will remind you how important you are, how valuable you are. They keep feeding you positivity that we will start believing it, and you will start feeling confident about yourself. You start thinking, even your thoughts start change. Be around those people and understand that you are a human being, and it's okay. It's all right to feel what you are going through. And if you are a friend who have a friend, if you are somebody who have a friend that undergone the FGM, please give them the space to be who they are. Be that person that they can go to, they can trust. They can come and speak to you and share their thoughts and their feelings, and you listen to them without judgment. Just be there, understand their emotions. Help them to love themselves. Help them to see the positive sides of themselves, because that is very important. Finding somebody that can hold your hand in a journey of healing, that tell you are not alone, that can speed your recovery, that can speed the healing, and you start seeing things from completely different angle. You start relying on that someone. So be patient and start loving yourself, because you're absolutely worth it. You are valuable, and You are amazing. Until then, bye bye.